We're going to talk about value today and creating value using our pencils. The other day I gave everybody a set of 3 pencils. There's a vast array of pencils, but we're primarily going to use these 3. We may throw in an 8B pencil here or there, depending on how dark you want to make things. But the numbers represent the thickness and the softness of the lead. A 2B is almost like your regular number 2 pencil. And then you have a 4B, which is a middle tone, and then a 6B. And as the number gets higher, the softer the lead, the darker the mark. So if I took my 2B and just kind of shaded, and then I'm going to take my 4B, and I'm going to shade in the same manner and the same amount of pressure. And then if I take my 6B and do the same. And you can see the subtle differences. And then obviously the darker I press, the softer, that's a 6, that's a 4, and that's a 2. Oh no, that's the 4, and that was the 2. Now press the same using the point, and they're all about the same. But when it comes to shading, you can see a vast difference, okay? So today what we want to do is we're going to do, I'll do a couple quick demo drawings for you guys, and then you guys will go ahead and find stuff from around the room and go ahead and draw it. But we're going to do a drawing of a paint tube and a drawing of a foam brush, okay? But we're going to start a little bit different than what we initially started with. We're going to start just, if you remember when I did the paint tube, we started with shapes. Well, we're going to break it down even further and just find basic structure lines and figure out our scale just by using a couple lines here. So I'm going to start with the foam brush. I got to have it a little bit off camera because I need to see it. But we're going to go ahead and start, and we're going to start with the overall size. So I'm going to draw my paint foam brush within these 2 lines here, okay? And then what I would need to do is find out where the edge or the part of the foam brush meets the handle. So to me, it's a little less than halfway as I see it. And then I'm just going to kind of block in, right? And now we can go to the next step, which is kind of what we started with the other day, blocking stuff in. Okay, so now I have things blocked in. So now I can go ahead and lightly do my contour line drawing using my 2B pencil. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more. And the most important line is going to be that line right there on the whole drawing, because that line gives you the illusion of the fact that this handle is round. So once I've had did my line drawing, I can go ahead and start adding my shading, and I'll start with the handle first and then move from there. Okay, so my darkest area as I'm looking at it, which you guys can't see again because off the camera, is going to be the shadow underneath the handle. It's going to be on underneath here and here. But I want to establish some shading first before I can get to that darkest area. So I know as things go around the cylinder, it gets darker as it gets closer to the bottom and lighter as closer to the top. If you notice, I'm using the side of my pencil to create this nice little value here. And right now I'm using my 4B to do that. And I can go back and with a finer tip and kind of do the wood grain, suggestion of the wood grain, right? So now we're getting into a little bit of texture. Right? A little plastic part. And then the side of the paint brush, not only appears to be darker, but visually is darker because of the way the light is reflecting off of it. Using the side of my pencil is giving this some nice texture, kind of a foamy look to it. Again, using my 4B. My 6B, and like I said, the 6B is going to be my darkest thing. Create my darkest area. The shadow then tapers off a little bit to show a little bit of height. Shadow behind here. So I need to make the shadow a little bit darker, well, lighter actually, and a little bit darker here, so it separates itself from the corner of my, and then I have a little bit of a shadow underneath here. Again, you gotta make it darker so it appears that it's underneath it. And now the handle is a little bit darker than the foam is, so I am going to go back with my 6B and darken that up. Again, I'm holding the side of my pencil rather than holding it like a pencil. Kind of drawing with the side. I want to darken that foam up. Building up in layers, and then again, this is still going to be darker than the side. Just like that. So, something like that for that. Okay. Now for the paint tube, again, just to show you guys, kind of keep it in that direction. Start with my 2B. Again, I want to kind of find my guides. I'm going to draw up a little bit bigger than life size. Right. I want to find where it folds, then it folds down again, and then the top. I'm going to have to come out a little bit. So now I'm going to kind of my lines. Just find those basic structure lines, right? once I have my basic structure lines, I can go back and start adding values. Now, I got white, a cream, a yellow, and then blue, and then black. So 6B is going to be for my cap, right? I'm going to use the 6B for the cap. So 4B and 2B are going to be for the rest of it. So start adding some value, and I can leave the white of the paper as part of my value. I don't have to shade it all in. Now there's a fold right here, and this is in shadow, and this part is in light, so I want to make sure I kind of show that. And there's a fold a little bit down here. Now looking at this, I realized this is off. I'm allowed to make mistakes too. My 4B. 4B for the black, or the blue, I should say. But I also want to leave a little bit of a white line there because of the crease. Get to our 6B here. And now for the shadows, like I said, 6B being the darkest, would be my darkest area on this one. Just using my 4B just to go back in and kind of tweak a couple things, make a couple things a little bit darker, kind of define them. Fix that up a little bit. So posted on the stream is the assignment objectives, creating value drawings with objects around the room. So go ahead and check that out, and then we'll just spend period today working on doing value drawings as many objects as you can from around the room, and then tomorrow I'll have a still life set up for us to work on. So.